A very warm good morning to one and all. Today, here, the Department of Management, Christnagar College, has initiated to conduct a webinar on the topic Innovate and Invest. Today, we have Dr. Biju T. as our resource speaker. He is the Associate Professor, Department of Commerce, School of Business Management and Legal Studies, University of Kerala. He acquired MCom and MPhil from the University of Kerala and MEd from MS University, Tirunelveli. He has been awarded PhD in Commerce from the University of Kerala in the year 2007. He possesses a total teaching experience of 20 years, of which 13 years in higher education institutions in Kerala. He was recognized as the best district mission coordinator of Kudumbashree Mission in 2015. He also served as research officer of Kerala State Higher Education Council, IQAC coordinator, NAAC coordination committee member, extension service coordinator of various colleges under the Department of Collegiate Education, Government of Kerala. His contributions are less in one speech. I heartily welcome you on the behalf of Christnagar College, sir. Next, I welcome all participants who are here to attend the webinar. I welcome you all. I believe even during the time of such pandemic, such platforms help us all to stay together and interact while sitting at home safely. Without any delay, I now welcome Biju sir to start the session. Thank you.
Good morning, all of you. Thank you for your nice introduction. Let me congratulate the team management in Christnagar College for organizing this kind of webinars during this period of pandemic. We all know that we are passing through very tough time and many changes are happening every day in our life. But wise persons will not become panic. Instead, they will find opportunity amid calamity. That is what the proverb says. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity, and an optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. So, be an optimist. This kind of webinar may also be termed as an opportunity traced by you during this pandemic. In the area of investment also, many changes have occurred. Today, we are just trying to evaluate such changes in the investment scenario. Many innovative business ideas, and as a result of the same, many innovative investment avenues are emerging every day. And the fundamental analysis now becomes more important because it is inevitable to analyze the industry prospects and company prospects along with the economy. That is inevitable before parking our funds into a security of a company. Above all, the priority to invest also change from day by day. Hence, today's presentation is actually divided into three parts. The first part deals with investment and its fundamentals. The second part, we just going through various investment avenues which are available before us. And regarding the third part, we will proceed into the investment options suitable for the pandemic period. The presentation is divided in such a manner because of my remote understanding that most of the participants of this webinar are management students, and the others are from the academic field itself. Is that okay for you? Then we shall proceed to the first part. Investment fundamentals. We know that all our activities or all our efforts directed towards the achievement of income for meeting our livelihood expenses. We know that our income is meant for current spending. When we abstain from current spending, that results in savings. People generally save additional, as you discussed in your classrooms, the savings does not generate any additional value if it is not invested wisely. Assume that if a person has a large sum of money and keeps it in his cupboard, it will not grow. So it has to be invested in some financial asset to get a fair return. So we can say that investment is the allocation of money with the expectation of some return in future. So expectation of some return in future. So it involves waiting for future reward in terms of income through regular interest, dividend, premium, or appreciation of value of principal capital. And the investors are regarded as suppliers of capital. And in their view, the investment is commitment of a person's funds to derive future income in the form of interest, dividend, premium, or appreciation of value. Look into the basic concepts of investment. The first one, as you know, is the economic investment. According to the economists, the term investment refers to net additions to the capital stock of society. What is capital stock? Yeah, capital stock includes goods which are used in the production of other goods, such as building, equipment. Investment means an increase in buildings, equipment, inventories, etc., which represent the capital stock of society over the number of equivalent goods that existed, say, an year ago at the same time. When we look into the current scenario, this pandemic situation, the relevance of economic investment in the healthcare sector is growing more and more during this period, because this pandemic revealed that we do not have enough number of ventilators, we do not have enough number of ICU beds in proportion to our population. Either the government or the private parties need to invest in that area is highly essential now. Then the second one is business investment. It refers to the money to be put or held in private business. For example, if you put rupees 1 lakh for starting a new grocery shop in your place, it will be said that your investment in business amounts to rupees 1 lakh. This kind of small investment is also in demand during this period, especially in all new ventures started their operation during this period and your surroundings. So you just look around. If you look around your surroundings, you can see that online fish vending, fish farming, assembling and marketing of computer or internet gadgets. These are all emerging day by day. So such business investments also have good scope in future, because we are now concentrating on localization rather than globalization. We know that the Atmanirbhar Bharat declared by the Honorable Prime Minister of India and the Subiksha Kerala project launched by the government of Kerala, these are all emphasized on it. All these lead to more business investments shortly. Then the third category is financial investments. We are interested in this kind of financial investments. This refers to putting money in securities, that is shares or debentures or real estate, mortgages, etc. The term financial investment is generally used for investment in securities. We know that. We also use to refer it in such a way. One thing you have to remember is this: deep correction in the financial market will tempt investors to exit equity instruments for good, complaining that the stock markets are gambling dens. But our experience from the 2008 financial crisis, with global major Lehman Brothers filing for bankruptcy, resulted in fall of Indian indices by nearly 60% from their January 2008 heights by October 2008. After that, there have also been other 3 periods of significant correction. In 2011, we witnessed a correction due to sovereign debt problems in Europe and West Asia. And in 2013, again, a correction due to tapering of financial stimulus by the US Federal Reserve. And in 2016, the Brexit and the unexpected political victory of protectionist Donald Trump in the US. Indeed, an investor would be impossible to predict such a crisis, but he can certainly stay prepared. Instead of exiting from equity instruments, the past experiences show that if you had remained patiently through the correction of 2008 and stuck to your monthly SIP investments in relatively less risky large cap funds, you would have been sitting on annual gains of 15% over the last 10 years. That was our experience. Hence, there is higher relevance even for the financial investments during this pandemic. But the only thing is, be wise in selecting your portfolio of securities. We know that investment is always discussed in the background of risk. The term risk has significance in the financial meaning of investment. Whatever amount is invested has the probability of incurring gain or loss in a financial transaction. In investment, the securities are purchased by an investor through proper evaluation, analysis, and review with a view to receiving a stable return over a long period of time, isn't it? Therefore, we can say investment as a planned commitment of funds from a person's savings into different outlets with the expectation of safe, stable, and fair returns. Investments are important for us due to increase in life expectancy of person, planning for retirement income, high planning for additional income due to high rates of taxation and inflationary pressure in economy, the expectation of continuous stable income in the form of regular dividends, interest, and other receipts. The Indian economy has a spectrum of schemes to offer to an individual, ranging from bank deposits to highly volatile stock market. On an analysis of these schemes, it appears that the investor has a wide choice in front of him. We have a vast range of investment opportunities in the government sector also. They are mostly risk-free, but the return out of it is very low. Several incentives are also attached to such kind of government securities and all. The private sector investment consists of equity and preference shares, debentures, and financial engineering securities. They have the feature of high risk. Ultimately, the investor must make his investment decision. There arises the dilemma. The dilemma faced by the Indian investor is the reconciliation of profitability, liquidity, and risk in investment. As we told, the government securities give low returns and they do not fulfill the investor's objective of money appreciation. The private sector securities, on the other hand, they are attractive, though risky. We know that the Reliance, Infosys, Wipro, Tata, all give to the investor the expectation of future appreciation of investment by several times. Again, the multinational and blue chip companies offer very high rates of return and also give bonus shares to their shareholders. The real estate and gold have the advantage of eliminating the impact of inflation, since the price rises experienced by them have been very high. The Indian investor in this context cannot choose his investment very easily, especially during the period of this pandemic. Before proceeding to various investment avenues in detail and the suggested investment patterns for a pandemic, we shall discuss something about the factors which affect or influence the investment decision-making process. Am I audible? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Okay. So the major factors influencing the investment decision are grouped into 5 here. You know all these factors. You familiarize with all these factors. The first one is demographic factors. As you know, these are the personal characteristics used to collect and evaluate data on people in a given population. The demographic factors include age, gender, marital status, race, education, income, and occupation, etc. It has an influence on the investment decision, and such an influence may vary from person to person, place to place, or securities to securities. In this period, we are witnessing that young ones are coming out with e-learning solutions, startups to produce technical gadgets in demand. At the same time, the middle-aged persons are ready to invest in agriculture-based activities and so on. So the demographic factors are very relevant. The second group is economic factors. They are the set of fundamental information that affect the investment's value. Various economic factors need to be taken into account while determining the current and expected value of an investment portfolio. For an investment, the key economic factors include income, price, interest rates, government policy, tax and management, etc. Now, the government is offering various tax holidays, loan schemes, subsidies, etc., which in turn creates investments more attractive. Then comes the psychological factors. As you know, the overconfidence, excessive optimism, excessive pessimism, herd behavior, and risk tolerance. These are the psychological factors which affect the investment decisions. Again, the social factors. It usually take many forms and may help to explain why human behavior goes wrong or right. The social factors reflect the region and the socioeconomic background of the investor. These factors help to shape the thoughts and actions of an individual. The social factors include the family, the educational setting, the religion, peer pressure, firm's reputation in the industry, firm's governing body, contribution of firm towards the social cause. These are all the social factors influencing your investment decision. Then comes the organizational factors. These relate to the type of working condition, incentives, pay scale, retirement benefits, etc. available to the employees. Again, these factors can influence the individual's behavior in investment also. The most influencing variable under this factor is job security, pay scale, retirement benefits by the organization, the working environment, the promotion system, the incentives, the financial assistance, the increment. These are all to be considered while taking the investment decision by a person. Okay, now we shall proceed to various investment avenues available for the investors. We know that many investment alternatives or channels for making investments are available. A sound investment program can be constructed if an investor familiarizes himself with various alternative investments available before him. The investment media are of several kinds. Some of them are very simple and direct. Others present complex problems of analysis and investigation. Some investments are appropriate for one type of investors, and another may be suitable for another person. The investor will select the portfolio which will maximize its utility. So the securities present a wide range of risk-free instruments to highly speculative shares and debentures. From this broad spectrum, the investor will have to select those securities that maximize his utility. The investor has an optimization problem. He has to choose the security which will maximize his expected return subject to certain consideration. Some investors are temperamentally suited to take risk. Others are not willing to invest in risky securities even if the return is high. One investor may prefer safe government bonds, whereas another may be willing to invest in blue chip securities of blue chip equity shares of a company. So the major investors are grouped in 4 broad categories here. The first two is direct investment alternatives and indirect investment alternatives. Regarding direct investment alternatives, the options available are cash, savings account, savings certificate, government bonds, corporate bonds and debentures. Why they are calling as a direct investment? Here the investor makes his own choice and investment decision, and they are characterized as a fixed principal instrument because the principal amount and the terminal value are known with certainty. In the case of indirect investments, on the other hand, the options available are pension fund, the provident fund, insurance, investment companies, mutual fund, unit trust of India, and so on. Why they are called indirect investments? Indirect investments are those in which the individual or the investor has no direct hold on the amount he invests. He contributes his savings to certain organizations like Life Insurance Corporation or Unit Trust of India or any other mutual fund agencies, and depend upon them to make investment on his and other people's behalf. So there is no direct responsibility or hold on securities. The individuals have no control over these investments. The examples of indirect investment alternatives are an important and rapidly growing segment in our economy nowadays. Then comes the third category, that is variable principal securities. In the category of variable principal securities, there is equity shares, convertible debentures, or preference securities. The variable principal securities differ from the fixed principal securities because their terminal values are not known with certainty. Here we does not know anything about the terminal value of a security or a terminal value of your investment. Then comes the non-security investments. In the category of non-security investments, we have options available like real estate, mortgages, commodities, art, antiques, and other valuables. Here, the non-security investment differ from securities in other categories. Consider the case of real estate. The terminal value of it is uncertain, but generally there is a price appreciation. And at the same time, depreciation can be claimed in tax. Real estate is less liquid than corporate securities. Consider the case of mortgages. The mortgages represent financing of real estate. It has a periodic fixed income and the principal is recovered at the stated maturity date. The commodities, we know that the commodities are bought and sold in spot markets. Contracts to buy and sell commodities at a future date are traded in futures markets. The business ventures refers to the direct ownership investments in new or growing business before firms sell securities on a public basis. So these are all the non-security investments.